Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Today, my entry is going to veer off a little bit from usual as I am going to tell a story that I made up. So, with that being said, this entry is from August 6th, 2024, 11:47 p.m. Last night, I had a hard time sleeping. At first, I was thinking about Callie, but then that thought took a tragic turn. I imagined that she died while giving birth to our firstborn child, a boy. I found myself screaming and crying at her side as she passed away. Before her last breath, she gave the boy's name, Matthias. Years pass in which my ability to move on is still stunting my chance to find someone new. I taught Matthias about sharing, kindness, and evil, all through the use of some grapes. Hey son, do you know how we say sharing is caring? Yes, Dad. Well, I want to show you how you must be wise in sharing. Having the power to be kind is one not a lot of people have. Can I have a grape? Sure, Dad. Thank you, son. Now, son, let's count how many grapes you have. Together, we count 3. Now, son, if I have 1, how many more do you have? 2. Good job. Man, you're getting good at math. Soon enough, you'll be smarter than me. And stronger. Yes, son. Much, much stronger. Hey, son, watch this. I grab one of the 2 grapes and pop it up into the air. It just barely misses and falls into the ground. Oh no, so close. Now I have to throw this one away. Oh well. Hey, Matthias, can I please have the last grape? I want to show you I can pop it into my mouth. Matthias replies, Sure. So I grab the last grape and pop it into the air. This time I caught it, and we celebrated for a moment. See, I told you I can do it. Now you try. Matthias looks down to see that no grapes are left. He looks at me, a bit somber. I can't. There are no grapes left. Well, how many did you have? I didn't have any. Matthias, you know how we say sharing is caring? Yes. Well, when we share, it's because it makes us feel happy. Are you happy? No. Well then, maybe you shared too much with me, son. They were all your grapes, but I ate them all. You tricked me, Dad. No, Matt. I'm teaching you a lesson, because one day someone might try to take all your grapes. He looked at me a bit pouty and a bit puzzled. One thing was for certain, though. The kid was thinking. I gave him some grapes. Some time passes, and I've started to move on. I've been through a couple of hookups, but the most recent lady had me in her arms. I let her live here for a couple of weeks by now, and I can say that the empty hole in my heart is starting to fill itself with life again. Matthias doesn't seem as happy about the change. In fact, he doesn't seem happy as of late. One day, I decided to finally see if he's okay, but the late check must have been the straw that broke the camel's back because his face wrapped itself with rage. I'm just done. Done with what? Done with living here where I don't feel cared for anymore. Sorry, son. I've just been trying to get back on my own feet with this woman. It's been hard having to take as much care as I can with you when I also have to work. Matthias considers this point. Look, Matthias, No, Dad, I don't want to hear it. You've done this a billion times already, and I'm sick of it. I'm going to live with Jake for now. And don't call me Matthias anymore. My heart stopped. What did you say? I said, don't call me Matthias. I got closer to him, trying to hold the tears back. He knew he struck a nerve. Your mother gave you that name. You hear me? Your mother. How dare you throw away the one thing she was able to give to you while she was still breathing, besides your very own life? How ungrateful. How shameful. I paused for a second. The tears start their march down my face. Matt could see the grief in my eyes, my heart, and my soul. I don't want to lose you, son. You're all I have left. I sniffed for a while. wipe my eyes, and look into his eyes that reminded me of her. I have something to show you. Come with me. We drove in silence. When we arrived at the cemetery, we got out, and I led him silently to his mother. Here she is, son, your mother. You can tell her right here that you would like to change your name. He stared at the gravestone for a while, and his face began to turn red. Tears began to flow from his face. He turned to me and quietly said, I'm sorry, Dad. I forgive you, son. We hugged for a long time. I'm old now and sitting in my house all alone. None of the attempts at a relationship seemed to work, but it at least allowed me to pass the time. Matthias has a daughter around 7 years now. Her name is Savannah. Geez, she's grown up so fast. She's such a sweet and caring kid. Today I'm meeting up with little old Savannah to talk about what she wants for her 8th birthday that's coming up in a month, while Matthias takes his wife to the hospital for their 2nd kid. I hear a knock on my door. Hey, kiddo, how's it going? Geez, you've gotten tall. Hi, Grandpa. She rushed to me and gave me a big old hug. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate your willingness on such a short notice. No problem, Matt. Now, go on. Celebrate life's gift. You got it. Love you. Love you too. I sit Savannah down on the couch, facing the window out to the backyard. We talked for a long time about what she'd like. A pony, a big dollhouse for her Barbies, a 5-foot stuffed dog. The list goes on. She then asks me, Grandpa, what do you wish for your birthdays? I pause for a bit as I try to find my ground. There's a lot of things I've wished for in the past, dear. Toys, books, clothes, tattoos, money. My mind trails off. I know I'm covering up that I just want my Callie back. Every year I pray that it was all a dream, and I just wake up beside her again. I began to think again, though. I thought about Matthias, our ups and our downs, his graduation, his job promotion, and how happy I was to see him turn into a great man. I thought about how blessed I was to see him get married and have a child, soon to be 2. It seemed no matter where I looked, one thing was constant: my family. No matter who came and who went, my family has always been there for me. And so I finally replied, and my family. Well, I'm always here for you, Grandpa. I chuckled as my eyes watered. Yes, you are, kiddo. Yes, you are. Geez, what a nice kid. August 7th, 2024, 1:27 a.m. Wow. What a story. I personally enjoy that one. The name Matthias came from a show that I had on DVD called Redwall. And I only have one DVD of it, and it's the only time I've actually seen Redwall. But there is a character called Matthias, and that name has stuck with me for so long, which to me is what I would like to name my first, boy child. We'll see how whoever my wife is thinks of it. I think it's cool. But anyway, I just kind of had this emotional outburst of thinking about a future in my life. Now, to clarify, Callie and I are not a thing. We are friends. This is, again, in the past, before I met my now girlfriend, which I have started to date as of recent. But I think, the story still applies, whoever you put in as the wife character. And this kind of ties back into that last video when I was thinking about, have you ever thought of being a parent? And this is kind of my outpouring of that thought and going a little bit deeper with the idea of things I would teach my kid. And so, like in the grape example, sharing. It's always a great thing to share, but sometimes people can use that kindness of sharing to get more than what they really deserve out of it. And it's something that I grew up and had to learn because I would always be the nice kid who would always help people out, who would always not give answers necessarily, but help them get to the answer. And so a lot of times people would end up using that, as well as even on projects, to put it all on me. And it's something that I personally don't like. So there was a learning curve for me in which I had to say, hey, I can't help you anymore because I've already given so much time and effort into doing that, and I need to focus on me now. So it was a way for me to make sure that I was caring about myself and focusing on myself as well, and not just other people's needs. With that, I do have some drawings, some more faces. This was on August 27th, 2024 at 12:50 a.m. called Passing Time. And I have a couple faces here. There's one called Agatha, guy called Toothpaste, one guy called it Evil Gresham, and then there's a little sketch of me. So here's what that looks like. I personally like these ones. I like the little pic of me right here. I'm wearing like a sakura branch and cloud sweatshirt. These other drawings I think are really good as well. I like the details when I put in wrinkles and whatnot. And you can see my form is kind of solidifying itself. With that, I'm going to end today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the story I told, pretending to be a dad. I do find enjoyment out of writing creatively, and I would like to hear from you guys. Did you enjoy that story? Did you think it was boring? Did you think it was moving? What did you think of it? Because if you guys liked it, I might consider doing more like B-side stories later on. Because if so, I plan on doing a lot more with that and writing more creative stories. In fact, I have one for Killer Moth, a rebirth of him down the pipeline, because dear God, Killer Moth has been joked about as a terrible Batman villain, and I think that there could actually be some really good ideas thrown about with the fact that he's a moth. If you're interested in seeing that, subscribe. It'll come sometime later in the coming year. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you later. Peace.